Welcome, everybody, to our Ayurveda talk. I am Marie, and I am an Ayurvedic health practitioner. And we're going to talk tonight about some of the symptoms that start showing up in the fall. If you did not have a chance to do the fall cleanse rejuvenation, remember in Ayurveda, we do twice a year, we do these cleanses, and they're very, very specific, and they're done for a reason as we transition from one season to the next. There are 3 seasons in Ayurveda. You have Vata season, which is what we have now moved into, and that is your fall winter. Then you have Kapha season, that is your spring, and then end of winter and then spring. And then you have summer, which is your Pitta season. So all of the seasons are based on the elements. Those elements have moved into the atmosphere. They are dominating the atmosphere, and they are impacting us physically, mentally, and emotionally. So there's a lot of people. 3 times today, I gave this recommendation to different clients. 3. That's a lot in one day for me because I'm not like a regular doctor where I'm seeing a client every hour. I spend a lot of time with clients. But I want to just talk about how a lot of times people will say in the fall is cold and flu season. You might have started to notice that as cooler temperatures have come in, maybe you have a little bit of a runny nose happening. Like all of a sudden, there's symptoms that are showing up, or allergies might be another thing. It all boils down to digestion. So you've got to strengthen digestion so that you can strengthen your immune system. But if you start to notice that you have something surfacing, some sort of like cold or flu symptoms, there's really easy things to do. So easy. In fact, when I tell people, they go, oh, but the thing is, they really work. They really work. So if you get a cold and a flu during the winter, during the fall or the winter, or even in the spring, your symptoms are usually like a runny nose. That would be a kapha thing. A cough, congestion, sometimes headaches. Allergies are going to move into that as well, cause those kind of symptoms. Achy body, and then even sometimes a fever. So those are some of the cold and flu symptoms, or you just feel off, like your body's achy. When you're dealing with a cold, it is considered a kapha imbalance. Kapha, kapha. That means there is a rise of water and earth, an excess of it, and it is causing an imbalance in the body. Some of what happens, especially in our culture, is we just have habits that really we don't change as we move from season to season. And one of those habits is to eat and ingest cold foods, and that includes ice, no ice, nothing cold. So as you move into cold temperatures, you're moving into a different season where cold is starting to dominate. The last thing that you want to do is ingest cold foods or cold drinks, because now you're going to cause stagnation and congestion. That is what happens. And that causes a kapha imbalance. So you want warm liquids, warm foods. When you're dealing with cold outside, you want to ingest warm, right? Because we're helping to combat what's happening outside. Cold is starting to dominate the atmosphere. So the body then builds up an excess of cold and moist inside. And then those kapha qualities start to show up. Stagnation, congestion, just lethargy, feeling melancholy, kind of depressed and sad. Those are all kapha symptoms. You just don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. You really need to move, though. Really need to get going. All right. So congestion and runny nose, they may also show up and be from a vata excess. So you have too much vata. So vata means that air and ether, which is the season that we're moving into, air and ether, that's vata season. All of a sudden that becomes excessive in the body, and that can cause instability. And also what it does is it causes digestive issues. So it reduces your strength in your digestive fire. Now you cannot digest properly. And then that leads to chills and loss of appetite, and also poor digestion. So it could either be kapha, right? It's an excess of cold and moist because we don't make adjustments as we're moving into this new season, or an excess of vata, which is due to what's actually happening into the atmosphere. Okay, what are some basic things that Ayurveda recommends? This is what I give everybody. When you have a cold, the best remedy is ginger. You get fresh ginger root. And I don't even peel it, you guys. I literally just chop it up and I put it in a big pitcher, and then I add boiling water and I make it as strong as I can handle it. The stronger, the better for me, because I'm more vata. And if you're dealing with vata or kapha, you can do that. Now, if you're pitta, maybe not quite so strong, because ginger can increase pitta. But if you're vata, you're dealing with vata symptoms or kapha, it's fantastic. So you take ginger and you will help. What it will do, it will help relieve the cold symptoms. And also it's going to flush out whatever's going on in your body, whatever the bacteria or the cold or whatever it is that's happening. It's going to flush it out of your system. It'll move it out quickly. So you want ginger. In addition to ginger, you can add cinnamon, and you can also add lemongrass. Those all together are a really nice Ayurvedic solution remedy to help with colds. Or you just do the ginger, and you can add ginger with cinnamon and cardamom, pinch of cardamom, and that is another remedy. Okay, so what you're doing is you're steeping them a minimum of 10 minutes, and then you strain out those herbs. So you're either doing the one remedy with this ginger, cinnamon, lemongrass, or you could do the other one, ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, pinch of cardamom. Okay. And then what you do is strain out the ginger and the cinnamon and all of that. And then you let it just cool down a little bit. I tend to just throw in an ice cube, cool down that boiling water a little bit. And then you add a little bit of local honey. So you add the local honey, and then you drink this throughout the day. It will really help you. Like, you will be shocked. It will help with the congestion, it will help with the flu, and it will help with the cold symptoms. Okay. So super easy, so super easy. If you want to, you can also do the steam. So you can get a boiling water in a pot. You throw your head over it with a towel, and you can put eucalyptus in there, and then you just breathe in the eucalyptus, and that is also going to help with congestion, especially if you're dealing with more of a vata cause of your cold, right? So additional things that you can do are fennel with a little bit of honey. Okay, you drink that all day. And for coughs and congestion, you want cinnamon and honey together. You do that 2-3 times a day. That's for coughs. For the actual flu, you can do a tea with tulsi. Remember, tulsi is basil. So tulsi, and you boil it, and then you drink that all day. And I love that. Tulsi tea is delicious. It's considered holy. And then one of my favorite Ayurvedic traditional formulations is Stita Pilati. It is something that you should just have on your shelf. And Stita Pilati is not only going to help with colds, it is also an immune system booster. So you will get extra support. Okay. All right. Now, you do need to be careful with do not take aspirin if you are taking ginger. So, no aspirin if you are ingesting a lot of ginger. Okay. That's one precaution. And other than that, you want to increase your vitamin C. You can do some natural nose drops, liquefied ghee. That's called Nasya. It will lubricate in the nasal passages. I always do that. And it relieves irritation that happens. These tissues get really raw when you have a cold or you have a flu. So you just take ghee, you can put it on your finger and just, I hold one side and then I inhale it up and then I massage it and then I do the other side and I massage it. Or you can liquefy the ghee, which is now what I do. And I use a little dropper and then I put it in and I do it at night and then I go to sleep. And it will, if the heater's coming on, it will prevent these tissues from getting raw and also from causing a cough and a sore throat. Totally worth it. All right, now, no dairy when you have a cold or a flu. You want to eliminate dairy and you need to get extra rest. So if you do exercise, just let it be mild, like going for walks, because that's going to help kapha. Kapha needs to move. They're stagnant and they're sedentary. So you want to help encourage that. At the same time, with vata, you do want some movement, but it needs to be a little more gentle. We want to help the lymph system, which is the system that removes toxins. We want to encourage that movement of lymph because that's going to help us get better. So you do some movement every day, even when you have a cold, but get plenty of rest. Breathing exercises are also beneficial, like alternate nostril breathing. And then you also want to be preventative. If you want to prevent a cold, you can take amalaki, which is another fantastic Ayurvedic herb. And it's considered a rejuvenative. It's something that if you did the fall cleanse, you at the very end of the fall cleanse, it's the most important part because it's the rejuvenation part. And that is where you take arasana. Arasana is a rejuvenating herb. So amalaki is one of them. Shavam brush is another one. So you can also take shavam brush. Okay. So the little extra tidbits is if you need more support and you're feeling like you need a treatment to really help you rest and help calm your nervous system, you can come in and also get the bliss treatment. It's fantastic and it will really help the body restore and recover. Okay, so that's our talk for tonight. We're moving into this vata season. We want to really help support everybody with what might be surfacing, and flus and colds definitely start to happen as we transition into a new system. And we're in it. We're in a new season, a whole new, not system, but a whole new season that has completely different elements that are impacting us. Okay, so if you have any questions, reach out to me and let's get started with our practice. We are doing a vata reducing apana practice. That means we're working with the subtle forces that move down.